Back to first take, Joel Embiid returned to the Sixers for Game 4 after an emergency appendectomy less than 3 weeks ago. Embiid did have 26 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 dimes, but the Sixers did not have much to show for it. They totally got blown out by the Celtics, 128-96. Tyrese Maxey only took 3 shots in the first half, and if the Sixers lose one more game, their season is over. So now the question is it time for the process to come to an end and possibly for Philadelphia to move on from Embiid? What do you think, Stephen A?
Big Perk has mentioned this on numerous occasions about potentially moving on from Embiid. The reason I'm averse to it, I don't agree with it, is because I don't think you can get anything for him because he is always injured. And nobody's going to give up any real assets for him. On one leg, I watched his brother average 35 in a playoff series against the Knicks a couple of years ago. I think that Embiid, if healthy, is one of the greatest big men to have ever played basketball. Unfortunately, he's never healthy. He came into the league missing the first 2 years of his career due to injuries, literally the first 2 years of his career. Mm-hmm. But believe it or not, I don't find him to be the biggest problem. They should have never brought Paul George in. You didn't need him. Paul George, one of the best people I know. I wish he had stayed in Los Angeles and signed his 3-year deal. I can't knock him for the 4 years, $212 million that he signed for. Good dude, damn good player, all-star caliber player when healthy, no doubt about it. One of the best people I know. But you didn't need him if you were Philly. Which gets us to Daryl Morey. I think the time has come for him. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be an executive in this league or whatever, but he ain't built for Philly. Too analytical. Philly don't give a damn about that. That's a blue-collar city. They don't care about MIT. They don't care about data analytics. Mm-hmm. They don't want somebody there that's going to tell you things are better than you think because the numbers say that. This is Philadelphia. They could give 2 frog fat behinds about that. They don't care, okay? They care about that. That's blue-collar city. This is Philadelphia. You talk to somebody that worked there for 17 years and was a columnist for the last 7 years of my career there. I know Philadelphia. That's second home to me. I'm telling you, I ain't asking you. They don't give a damn about that. And they need a leader that is about basketball, that when he speaks with authority. When he opens his mouth, you listen because you know he has the credentials and he ain't relying on just analytics. He's relying on what the hell those 2 eyes of his see. Now, I know he's going to be mad about me saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Months ago, the former 4-time champion executive that worked with me and Big Perk the last couple of years doing NBA Countdown, named Bob Myers, all right, was elevated within the Sixers organization. Let's stop playing damn games. Philadelphia needs that man running that damn basketball franchise. Daryl Morey needs to go someplace else and where that analytics stuff is going to be sold and it's all right because they ain't buying it in Philly. They're just not. That's just the truth. All right, you bring Paul George there, that ain't working. VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey are the future of this franchise. We're praying that Joel Embiid is healthy enough every April. That's what it comes down to. Philadelphia got romped yesterday because they're an inferior team, and if they ain't careful and they don't get their act together, Tyrese Maxey's going to want up out of there. Because why, as great as he is, sit around and be subjected to this? He's not going to put up with it, I'm telling y'all.
No, I agree 1,000%. It's time for a change, and it's time to change, move some furniture in that front office as far as Daryl Morey. And I'm with you, say you can't move Embiid at this point because he doesn't have any value. But when you think about Philly, just over the last 3 years, the only thing that's been coming out of that from that organization is drama. Whether it's been the James Harden breakup and him being traded away, or Joel Embiid, being rushed back or should have had some type of structure in place or whatever the case may be, it's been nothing but drama and not enough winning in the postseason when it matters the most. And here's the problem. I don't believe it's going to be easy to trade Paul George. Nobody's going to want to take that money on for PG, not the way that he's been playing. So now you're stuck with it. The biggest thing for Philly this offseason is that they got to start establishing some type of foundation and some type of culture over there. And I'm with you. If they don't, you don't want to be on the verge of having to lose a bright young superstar on the rise in Tyrese Maxey, so they got to get their stuff together.
And let's call it, and let's keep it a buck, Perk. The only reason Paul George is there, and again, we're not saying that Paul George don't deserve to be in this league and he ain't an all-star caliber player when healthy. We love Paul George. But the point is, the only reason he in Philly was because Daryl Morey was trying to save his own ass, because he knew he needed to do something, because he was getting some heat because of the way the Sixers were looking. That's all. He did it to save himself. I'm sorry, Daryl Morey. I got respect for you and love for you, but damn it, it's the truth. He's not the right man for Philly. He could be an executive other places, but that data analytics and MIT stuff, that ain't flying in Philly. They don't care. And the bottom line is he did the Paul George thing because of himself, not because it was better for the Philadelphia 76ers. And now it's coming back to haunt them because that's $212 million you could have utilized elsewhere, and Paul George could have stayed in L.A.
Some people might be seeing this like, hey, the series isn't even over yet. But the unfortunate matter of it is the 76ers have lost all, I believe it's 18. Yeah, 18 best-of-7 series when trailing 3-1. It feels very much like it is over there in Philadelphia.
I'm not going to snatch you out the starting lineup, but Jose, come on in, young fella. Come give us what we need and come give us that energy and that defensive tenacity. Mikal Bridges, have a seat next to me. Maybe you'll come with it in Game 5. You don't have time to continue to try to cater or get the best out of him. We're talking about Mikal Bridges, who has playoff experience, been to NBA Finals, was the starting 3 wing guy on the Phoenix Suns when they lost to the Milwaukee Bucks in the NBA Finals about 4 or 5 years ago. You don't have time to cater to him. I don't want to keep hearing complaining. Next man up mentality. If you ain't producing, sit your ass down, bring in one of those other guys off the bench.
What the hell is going on with you? Are you not listening? Who the hell said you were wrong about that? You preaching the gospel. I didn't have no problem with Bridges being benched. What's the problem? I didn't have no problem with him sitting down. I completely agree with you. The fact of the matter is, I'm proud of Mike Brown for putting in McBride and Jordan Clarkson and making sure that they played more minutes than Bridges because they're producing. What I am saying simultaneously is this. Yo, Mikal Bridges, what's up, bro? They gave up all of these assets for you. You just gonna sit idly by and McBride is a plus 29 when when they on the court together and you are minus 26? Damn, that's a 56-point difference with McBride on the court in favor of Mikal Bridges. That's not something to be alarmed about when 4 first-round unprotected picks was given up for you. I'm not trying to sit up there and make life hard for Mikal Bridges. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm rooting for the brother. You understand? I don't want to upset Josh Hart. I got love for Josh Hart. You understand? I appreciate the Energizer Bunny that he is and what he brings to the New York Knicks. But damn it, we talking basketball. We ain't talking about your personal life. We ain't getting into none of that. We talking about what we seeing you do on the basketball court. And when you consider the assets that the New York Knicks surrendered to get Mikal Bridges, you got to take into consideration, Big Perk, the Lakers gave up a first-round pick for Luka Doncic. The Phoenix Suns, you understand, the Houston Rockets gave up a bunch of second-round picks for Kevin Durant. I mean, my God, you got KD, you got Luka, and half of those assets wasn't given up for this. And the Knicks did this for Mikal Bridges. We can't sit idly by and engage in amnesia because the playoffs are here, even though we getting it from McBride and we getting it from others. And OG, thank you very much for doing what you're doing, and Karl Anthony Towns and others. The fact is we got to look at Mikal Bridges and the New York Knicks